Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Adam. It is Mini Drum Monday today, and we are working on the double bass drum. Yes! Here we go. So I just got this pedal in from Bevan Bender. Shout out to you, Bevan. Thank you so much for this pedal. This is going to become the new hi-hat stand pedal, and I'm going to have to do some work to this. And then I'm going to move the other pedal over. I'm going to adjust the wires and the cabling, and hopefully by the end of the video, we're going to have two double pedal working bass drums. Yes! This is already how it works right now. It's got this remote cable right in here running along, and it goes up through the top right there and is able to control it. Let's look at a closer look here and let's get started on the building process. First step, I've got to take off the old hi-hat pedal. The pedal served me well, but need to do the new one. And I wanted this one to match the other pedal because these are the new double bass drum pedals. So I had to remove the old wire so that it wouldn't be in the way. Next up, the new hi-hat pedal. Thanks Bevan Bender for this pedal. Appreciate you. Take off the old beater, grab the new wire, straighten it all out. It's about 3.5, 4 feet long, something like that. We'll trim the excess after. Drill a hole through it so that this hole will help tie the metal wire to the pedal so that it will not budge. After looping it around and pulling it through with some pliers, I then take several minutes to tie or spin that wire around on itself. This actually makes for a very solid fit. That wire does not go anywhere. Next up, we need to feed that wire through the hi-hat stand. The hi-hat stand is a 12-inch piece of aluminum pipe, about a 1/2 inch wide, maybe a 1/4 inch. Next up, the hi-hat base and the bottom hi-hat and the top hi-hat. Trim off the excess, and we've got a working hi-hat stand. Now we need to work on the double pedals. There's quite a few changes that we need to make. After taking them apart and separating the chains from the beater hold, I think it's a beater holder, I needed to reverse the process. This was pretty tough. You can hear my frustration. Finally got it to work, and you'll see in my wonderful skills of pointing that I needed the same process on the other pedal to move the one closer and keep the pedal working properly, just like this. This is what it's supposed to look like. You've got the spacer, you've got the distance between the two, keeping the chains straight, and the beater holder working. Now I've got two working double kick pedals. It's fantastic. Let's keep going. Sounds good, Adam. Next, I needed to remove the old beater system. And this wasn't too hard, just needed to get in there and pull the cables out and the bolts out. Now I'm going to recycle the original beater and the whole assembly with the cable and the spring. I just needed to make sure I could get it off okay and make sure all the parts were still working. And I'm going to make a new stand bar. It'll be a little bit longer, and it will include the other beater. To make the other beater, I needed to first file this metal collar and drill a hole. And then I was able to put threads. Oh, the beloved threads. Threads take time, but patience and lubrication, it totally pays off. Now I was able to file down the beater head, or the beater shaft there, the beater shaft, and I was able to fit it in really well. And I cut off the excess, and now I have a shaft and a beater that works perfectly. After I was able to file it down, I could now get a nut on there, and that nut was able to screw down onto the housing assembly. Next up, it's time to assemble the wire cable. And the wire cable needed something to loop on itself. And for that, I used this aluminum collar. I drilled a few holes just to make sure they were open. There's a poke right into the finger and blood. Yep. There you go. I was able to make the loop, and I then needed to crimp it back on itself. So I used my vise to do that. Kind of a painful process. After that, I could trim the excess on the wire, screw down a nut to hold it in place, and then I could put the beater head on, and the other beater head on I was using as an example. And now there you go, I have it. Now I needed to make the housing bar that houses both beater heads. Put a couple nuts in the side, and then you'll see me here gluing on some felt. This felt will help tremendously with the friction and the noise, and that is the final assembly. Let's put it all together. I'm using some graphite powder here from a pencil, and I'm putting that on the felt to reduce friction and to help reduce any type of noise. This is a very important step. Now it is time to assemble it all together. Oh, it's so satisfying to put all these on. Starting with the nut and a washer, I then put a lock washer. I put the kick pedal stand, and then I can put the end bolt. I'll repeat the same process on the other side. The two washers in the center keep the beater heads just a perfect distance away from hitting each other. Now I get to tighten down the bolts, and once the bolts are tightened, this works perfectly. It's time to put them on the stand. Now I've got my holes drilled, and I can feed the wires through. Those are going to go down and connect to the pedals. I had to remove the snare drum and the floor tom to get to the holes. After drilling the holes, I was able to add on the nuts and the bolts. I could then drill the holes for the springs. The springs help the bounce back, and now we are officially done. Yes! Check it out. Love it. Woo! Yes! So great. I'm finally done. Yes! Good job, Adam. Good job. I'm done! I can't believe it! I'm so excited about this. Man, the double pedals are actually working great. It's so exciting. Man, I can't wait to show you all. Stay tuned for the video that's going to have me actually playing them. I'm going to do another drum solo, and I'm going to be rocking out on these double bass drum pedals. Yes! I'm so excited. Take a look at what I set out to do. Like freaking in 2020 back in April, I wanted to have a set. I wanted to have the hi-hat pedal, the two bass drum pedals. I wanted to have the set all remote from there, and these on the top. Check it out, man. This thing is like exactly what I wanted. Look at the pedals here. We got our two bass drum pedals. We've got our hi-hat pedal. Man, I'm pumped. So an update on what needed to be done left. I have just completed finishing the double pedal mechanism. Woo! And the pedal swap and securing those down there. That was actually a pretty long process. Yes! We're done with those steps. I only have a few steps left to go. I want to just disassemble the whole thing and start painting the drums and the rims. Whew. We are almost there to a complete, perfect, exactly what I want, miniature playable drum set. Thank you very much for watching. If you want to get a hold of some of my merchandise, why not play the miniature drums? That's what my merch right now is that I have. I have a few other different shirts. Check out the link in my description for merch if you want to buy it. Thanks a lot. But that's it for this week's video. Thank you guys for watching and hanging in with me. Thanks for all the new subscribers. 4,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Super pumped about that. But thanks again for watching and supporting and all the comments that you're doing. Hit a like if you think it deserves it. Thanks again for subscribing, anybody who's new and coming in. But you guys have a great day. I'm Adam. This is Mini Drum Mondays. We'll see you on the next one.